Okay, this week on Demon of the Week, continuing with the planetary spirits, we're going to look at Taff. I can never pronounce this one. Taphthartharath. There we go. Join me over on Patreon, where you will find all of my books, services, and courses in the shop, blog posts, and the various tiers which you can explore. You can get magical training in the Temple of the Horned Serpent First Degree, and joining as a free member gets you started with that, or explore the Magical Journal and the Egregore Project. Hope to see you there. Okay, so Taphthartharath. I'm just going to actually call him Taff, continuing through, because my notes have got the name all over the place and I'm just going to battle with it every time. So we're just going to continue with Taff, all right. So starting with Practical Planetary Magic by David Rankin and Sarita Deste. Taff has a medium-sized body and an attractive face. He appears as an armed knight in armor. He moves like clouds. The sign of his appearance is a feeling of fear or nervousness. Alright, so to understand Taphthartharath, it is essential to first grasp the esoteric significance of Mercury, because, Taff is the planetary spirit of Mercury, so that makes sense. In astrology and magic, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, commerce, and travel. It governs all forms of exchange, whether they be ideas, goods, or messages. As the ruler of both Gemini and Virgo, Mercury's influence is dualistic, embodying both the analytical precision of Virgo and the versatile adaptability of Gemini. This duality is mirrored in Taff, whose nature is equally multifaceted. In the Kabbalistic tradition, Mercury corresponds to the Sphera Hod on the Tree of Life. Hod is the sphere of intellect, logic, and the power of communication. It is through Hod that the energy of the higher spheres is translated into the language of the material world, making it a crucial point of connection between the divine and the mundane. Taff is often described as a spirit of immense intellectual power and cunning. This spirit acts as a bridge between the divine and human intellect. Taff's name, like many in occultism, carries a vibrational significance that aligns with the frequencies of communication and mental acuity. In Hermetic magic, Taff is invoked when the practitioner seeks to enhance their mental faculties, improve communication skills, or gain insight into complex situations. The spirit is also associated with the acquisition of knowledge, especially in the fields of science, mathematics, and esoteric studies. Those who work with Taff may find their minds sharpened and their ability to articulate ideas enhanced. Taff is symbolized by the caduceus, the staff carried by Hermes, the Greek god who corresponds to the Roman Mercury. The caduceus, with its two intertwined serpents, represents duality, balance, and the harmonious exchange of energies. This symbol perfectly encapsulates the nature of Taff, who, like Mercury, navigates the boundaries between opposites, light and dark, conscious and subconscious, divine and human. The spirit is also associated with the color orange, which is linked to the planet Mercury in the context of planetary magic. Orange is a color of creativity, enthusiasm, and mental clarity, all of which are qualities that Taff can bestow upon the practitioner. It is best to call upon the spirit on a Wednesday during the planetary hour of Mercury, when its influence is strongest. Rituals involving Taff might include offerings of items associated with Mercury, such as quartz, yellow or orange candles, and symbols of communication like pens or books. When working with Taff, it is crucial to approach him with respect and focused mind. The spirit is known for its sharp intellect, and it can be both a powerful ally and a challenging teacher. Those who seek to invoke Taff should be prepared for intense mental experiences and be open to the insights that may arise. Now, there is a famous invocation of Taphthartharath involving the actress and writer Florence Farr, and it's a well-known episode in the history of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The invocation of Taff by Florence Farr is said to have been a powerful and intense ritual conducted as part of the Golden Dawn's work with planetary spirits. The purpose of the invocation was to bring forth the spirit of Taff to gain insight, knowledge, and enhanced intellectual faculties. As the spirit of Mercury, Taff was believed to possess vast knowledge and the ability to aid in communication and understanding complex matters. During the ritual, Florence Farr, acting as the chief operator, would have recited specific invocations and prayers using the sacred names and symbols associated with Mercury and Taff. The ritual likely involved the use of the caduceus, the staff of Mercury, and other Mercury-related items such as candles, incense, and sigils. The invocation is said to have been a success, with Taff making its presence known in the ritual space. However, accounts suggest that the experience was overwhelming, even for an experienced practitioner like Farr. Farr's encounter with Taff reportedly left a profound impact on her, and the ritual became a significant part of her magical legacy within the Golden Dawn. The event is often cited as an example of the power and potential dangers of working with planetary spirits, particularly those as complex as Taff. Now, you may have heard that it was Crowley who initiated this ritual. You need to understand that Farr is one of the people that oversaw the initiation of Crowley into the Golden Dawn in 1897. And two of them didn't quite see eye to eye after some time. And so Crowley, who had a strong interest in exploring the boundaries of ritual magic, sought to participate in or replicate this type of invocation to provide his own prowess and perhaps to challenge Farr's authority. Crowley, known for his audacity and willingness to push the limits of occult practices, attempted to invoke Taff himself. However, Crowley's attempt is often described as chaotic and potentially disastrous. The invocation of Taff by Crowley is remembered as an example of his willingness to engage with powerful and potentially dangerous forces without fully considering the consequences. I'm just thinking, this is going around in my head, this is my hero. I love people like this. Just throw yourself in. Who cares about the consequences? His actions during the ritual, however, contributed to the tension and eventual schism within the Golden Dawn, as other members were alarmed by his approach to magic and his disregard for the group's established protocols. If you do want to read the ritual itself that Crowley actually initiated, it can be found in Equinox, Volume 1, Number 3, in the chapter The Temple of Solomon the King, which is Book 2 continued, under the title of The Ritual for the Evocation unto Visible Appearance of the Great Spirit Taphthartharath. He actually starts out by saying in the document itself, you can find the document online as well, just have a look for that specific title. You should find it, The Ritual for the Evocation unto Visible Appearance of the Great Spirit Taphthartharath. But anyway, he starts out in this document by actually saying, Soror SSDD, who was Florence Farr, altered Frater IA's ritual, making the operation to form a link between Thoth and the Magus. This is absurd. The correct way is as here given, in which the link is formed between the spirit and the Magus. Yeah, they definitely didn't see eye to eye for quite a long time. She apparently didn't agree with his approach to everything, and his kind of lackluster kind of approach and everything about Crowley, really. But anyway, let's have a reading of Theomagia, and then we can end today's video. Amongst the ideas of the earth, he delights in Ambriel and Hamaliel. He is exalted in Hamaliel, he receives detriment in Advachiel, and his fall and imbecility is in Amnexiel, and that part of the earth. He ruleth the airy triplicity by night, viz. Albus, Amisio, and Tristitia. He receives his nature as the others do, and rules the world 354 years. He oft times changes his nature, viz. With good he is good, and with evil apt to be persuaded to evil. Yet naturally he is noble and free-hearted, but cold and dry, melancholy. He is of the element of the water. Amongst the humours there mixed, he rules the animal spirit, the author of good wits, ingenious and apt Rosicrucians, sober, grave, religiously honest, doing to all others as they would others should do unto them. Being strong, he signifieth 76, and represents that man of a subtle and politic brain, intellect and cogitation, an excellent disputant or logician, arguing with learning and discretion, and using much eloquence in his speech, a searcher into all kinds of mysteries and learning, sharp and witty, learning almost anything without a teacher, ambitious of being exquisite in every science, desirous naturally of travel, and seeing terrain parts. A man of unwearied fancy, a great student in philosophy, and if any attain the Pantava, it is them that is curious in the search of any occult knowledge, able by his own genius to produce wonders, given to divination and the more secret knowledge. If it's rubbed out, if something turn merchant, no man exceeds him in way of trade or invention of new ways, whereby to obtain wealth. When he is weak in 48 and 20, he signifies a very quarrelsome wit, apt to take exception at other men's faults and reprove them. Many times by trying conclusions loses his estate. Very unconstant, easy of belief, sometimes a mere London diurnal maker, a politicus mercurius, a new liar. Every day of the week you may read him a trifler, a mere verbal fellow. Corporature he vulgarly signifieth is one of a high stature, a straight spare body, a high forehead, and somewhat narrow long face, long nose, fair eyes, either perfectly black or grey, then lips and nose, little hair on the chin, but much on his head, and it a fad brown, or a sad brown. I think that's more of a fad. Yeah, probably sad brown, inclining to blackness, long arms, fingers, and hands. His complexion like an olive of chestnut colour. He must observe Taphthartharath, for if his ideas and figures be with others, they have a great influence one upon another, insomuch as one partakes of the nature of the other, as if he be with Zabel, then heavy, if with Hashmael, more temperate, with Barzabal, more rash, with Sorath, more noble, honest and gentle, with Kedamel, more merry, conceited, or full of jests, with Hasmodai, more movable. The qualities of men and their professions he signifieth are all learned men, philosophers, mathematicians, astrologers, merchants, secretaries, scriveners, geomancers, sculptors, prophets, poets, orators, advocates, schoolmasters, stationers, printers, exchangers of money, attorneys, emperors, ambassadors, commissioners, clerks, artificers, generally accomptants, solicitors, ministers, honest, noble, religious men, hating all evil and vice, sometimes grammarians, tailors, carriers, messengers, footmen, usurers. He signifieth all vertigos, lethargies, giddiness in the head, madness, either lightness or any disease of the brain. Tisic. I'm not sure what that is. All stammering and imperfection in the tongue, vain and fond imaginations, all defects in the memory, hoarseness, dry coughs, too much abundance of room in the head and mouth, all snaffling and snuffling in the head or nose, the hand and feet, gout, dumbness, I'm guessing that's dumbness, tongue evil, all evils in the fancy and intellectual parts, mixed and new colours, the grey mixed with sky colour, such as on the neck of the dove, and pigeon, stock dove, and such fine colours. Also lincy wolfy colours, whatever that may be, or confitting of many colours, mixed in one of favours, a hodgepodge of all things together, so that none can give it any true name, yet usually such as do quicken the spirits, are subtle and penetrate, and in a manner insensible. Herbs and plants attributed to him are known by the various colour of the flower, and love sandy barren places. They bear their seeds in cods. They smell rarely or subtly, and have principal relation to the tongue, brain, lungs, or memory. They dispel winds and comfort the animal spirits, and open obstructions. Bears three-leaved grass, the walnut and walnut tree, the filbert tree and nut, the elder tree, adder's tongue, dragonwort, two pennygrass, lungwort, aniseeds, cubebs, mariorum. What herbs are used for the muses and divination, as vervain, the reed, of drugs, treacle, hiera, diambra. Of beasts, the hyena, ape, fox, squirrel, weasel, the spider, the greyhound, the hermaphrodite, being partakers of both sexes, all cunning creatures. Of birds, the linnet, the parrot, the pominian, jay, the swallow, the pipe, the beetle, pismires, locusts, bee, serpent, crane. Of fishes, the mullet, the forkfish. Of places, tradesmen's shops, markets, fairs, schools, common halls, bowling alleys. Oh, they had bowling alleys back then. Ordinaries, tennis courts. Of minerals and stones, quicksilver, the millstone, marthasite or firestone, the acates, topaz, vitriol, all stones of diverse colours. He signifies windy, stormy, and violent, boisterous weather, and stirs up that weather. The ruler of his ideas, figure signifies in whose company he is, sometimes hail, lightning, thunder, and tempests. In hot countries, earthquakes, but this according to the season of the year. The countries he governs are Grecia, Flanders, Egypt, Paris. He governeth Wednesday, the 1st and 8th hour thereof. his friends Hismael, Kedamel, and Zazal, his enemies, all the other rulers. Alright, so that brings us to the end of Taphthartharath. Taff for... Oh, I can't even say that now. Taff for short. Okay, and I'll see you next week with... this is the last planetary spirit next week. Okay, which is Hasmodai. I'll see you then. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.